Howard, and this is Wake Up New Bedford. I'm here with Tashy Pires. Tashy, thanks again for having me.
Thank you, Marcus.
And so right now we're in her store in Kilburn Mill, and what a fabulous location. In the first part, we were able to talk just about her background, for those who don't know her, how she got to this point, and now we get to talk about what she's doing now that she's here. Let's rewind just a little bit, okay? Now you gave us how you got to college, how you got into marketing, how you got your master's in business, and then you even brought us to, during COVID, you started to play around with jewelry. Yes. Yeah. Where does the thought to make jewelry rather than do another kind of art, where does that thought come from?
At first it was space. So I actually wasn't staying at my own house during COVID. I was in Connecticut for about 4 months. And so obviously it wasn't my own space. And so I was like, what can I do that is compact, that is still, artistic expression, and that I like. I like jewelry. I like big and bold. I feel like I sort of grew into it the more that I experimented and created. I grew into the bold, but I like colorful, I like big, I like, something that makes a statement.
And fashion.
And fashion, yes. I like to dress up a little
Absolutely,
bit.
Yeah, do your thing.
Right. My kids tell me all the time, like, Miss Pires, I love your outfit. I'm like, thank you. Yeah. Those compliments mean so much to me,
they
honestly.
Do.
If a middle school girl compliments you, you know you're doing something right in this life, right? And so it was, the clay was small enough to work with. I didn't need a lot of equipment per se. And so I think I was just researching just different types of art to do. And painting wasn't ever really my thing, and drawing wasn't really ever my thing. But I like working with my hands. I like doing things with my hands, building and morphing and molding. And so I came across clay jewelry. And I was like, oh,
that's interesting.
This looks fun.
Okay.
This looks really fun.
Yeah.
And so with pandemic money, the checks they were giving, the stimulus. I was like, let me buy myself some stuff. So I went on Amazon and I had bought whatever. It came up in a kit. It was 28 packs of clay and it had a little acrylic roller and just some stuff to get started. It was a very beginner kit.
Sure. And
I was just experimenting with it. I was like, this is actually really fun. I'm working with my hands, which I like, just playing music in the background. It's actually in the basement of my ex-boyfriend's mom's house. And so it was just fun, and I liked what I was doing. And at the time, I thought they were really cute, the things that I originally made, and looking back, I'm like, oh.
We've grown.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, people liked these? What? And so seeing that growth has been actually really super cool. From the first until now.
And so you keep saying you like to work with your hands, but when you said you like to build and morph, were there things in the past that you had done too?
I've always said, ask anybody who I grew up with, if it was a choice between helping my mom clean the house or helping my dad build something, I would always opt for helping him build something.
Really?
He did so many projects back in the day. Okay. One of my favorites, we had this big rock in our backyard. And we actually made it into a waterfall. We had drilled a hole. Yeah, we had drilled a hole through the rock. And we had a bunch of PVC pipes, and we connected it to a water filter. It was such a cool, just thing to do with my dad. And even doing stuff with the patio, the deck, learning how to use a screw.
So you're a DIY family.
Very much.
Yeah.
Even my mom loves a good DIY, but hers are kind of corny DIYs.
What do you mean?
Where does it start? She just she has this obsession now. She wants to make our entire kitchen white.
Okay. So I feel like that's very in right now.
It is, but it's stale. It's stale.
Sure.
Our kitchen it's a kitchen dining room. Big area. It's just filled with so much character, and it's homey, and it's warm, and it's ours, and she wants to just spray paint everything white. So that's been her new thing, is just spray painting literally everything white. A cup, spray paints it. A vase, spray paints it.
You're not kidding?
No, I will send you a picture, actually. It's kind of ridiculous. In the best way.
Yeah.
But she finds these stencils. I don't know, my mom She does whatever makes her heart happy.
Yeah, why
and
not?
I really admire that about her. Like, she doesn't care what other people think. She just, if she likes it, she's gonna do it. She's gonna buy it, and you go, girl. That's what I'm saying. But, yeah, I just always, I don't know what it is about just seeing things in their natural state and manipulating them to become something else. And the thing with this, like the jewelry is, it comes as I wish I could show you. I probably have one around here. It comes as just like a plastic, wrapped in plastic, just a block of clay.
Yeah.
And I myself manipulated this to create wearable art. Like, still to my, like, just blows my mind, like how.
Yeah, I didn't know it was made. I didn't know what it was made of.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Super curious.
A lot of people don't. They don't know the process. It's actually, it's very fun, very interesting.
And so, you taught yourself this? You kind of just like did it as you went?
Starting, yes.
Yeah.
And then as I grew, I started watching more YouTube videos. I started following people who have been doing this for a little bit of a longer time. And just taking notes from them, seeing like technique-wise.
I mean, yeah, it's still, I mean, so many people who like do it themselves go to like YouTube University, but like you didn't have someone like walking you through it. It was kind of it was just you.
Just trying it out.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
And so, have you always been able to do that? Kind of just like learn it as you go? Or was that a hard experience for you?
In terms of this?
Sure.
This or just in general?
So in general, were you always kind of did you need someone to walk you through it? And then especially with the jewelry, was it hard to not have anyone walk you through, even though you had people like on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah.
Or was it kind of natural?
I will say in general, I've always been a person to just do things without like consultation. As I've grown older though, I've been better about seeking people who, sort of know what they're doing and have a lot more experience. But growing up, I kind of just a do it yourself kind of person. Like, just try it. I think that's part of like the kinesiology is just try it. Just you learn as you go. You learn as you do. Yeah.
That's interesting.
With this though, I there's not many people around that I know who do this type of art. So there really was no in-person like guidance, if that makes sense. But I think the beauty of it comes from learning yourself. Like all the mistakes I made, it all was me. Like going through that was my process. And it's brought me to where I am today. So
and that sounds so fun and empowering. Like you have all that knowledge, and you don't have to depend on anyone. It's just you. And so I asked that question as far as was it more natural or did you guidance? Like I'm someone who definitely, I've always needed someone to help me along, and now I'm somewhat growing out of that and taking my own path. But it really, it's a gift and a talent, and it's not something everyone has. And so that's why I wanted your perspective. But and the only other person I can think of who makes their own jewelry is TL6 The Gallery downtown. But then they make
TL6.
Yeah, they're like right next door to No Problemos. But they make their jewelry out of metal. Like they're metal workers. And I thought that was really interesting. But you're right. There's not a lot of people making handmade jewelry. Yeah. And so it's a really niche, but something that will really catch people's eye, and it's really impressive. And so now moving on to the name, because you brought up this Taj Collective. It wasn't the first name. And especially, like, I'm super curious because that's not how you spell your name.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay, so how did you move on? Where did you get the advice to switch your name? And then how did you come up with this?
So as I said earlier, we start off as Tashy Made It.
Yeah, Tashy Made It.
Very to the point.
Yeah.
Tashy Made It. And you're going to buy it and wear it.
Not a bad name, too.
No. Yeah. I think I had struggled for a while of like, what do I really want to name it? And that's kind of like still when it wasn't as serious. Like I didn't consider it really a business. It was still a hobby at that point. And I was just making it. And people were like, I like this. I want to buy it. And I was like, sure.
You'll give me money?
So yeah, it wasn't really a business at that point. And so it was just a name. I don't even really remember how I came up with it. Probably just the fact that I was making something.
Yeah, literally.
And then in 2021, is when I officially changed the name to Taj Collective company. So Taj, it's a double. There's a little double meaning to it. So cool. Taj is a play on words for Tash.
Sure.
And Taj also means crown in Urdu.
Oh, interesting.
And so I've never told actually anybody this, but it's a representation of me. And stepping into my own power and putting my crown on and remembering who I am.
Oh, wow.
And a part of that is having the confidence. You know, when you look good, you feel good. And wearing things that make me feel good help me to present better in life. And I think anybody, when they feel like they look presentable, they feel like they look their best, they're going to present their best. And so Taj, meaning crown, is, you know, you're stepping into your light, you're stepping into your power, you are your full authentic self, and that is how you're presented to the world.
Sure.
And having no shame in that. So.
And again, that just reminds me of you saying being intentional. That was, I mean, that goes so hand in hand with where you are now and how you got here. And especially with being in Women's History Month. I mean,
perfect timing, right?
No, perfect timing, especially to get that exclusive, you know? And so to give yourself your own crown and giving yourself some credit, you know, to realize that you've done this.
Yeah.
And so, you didn't have anyone walking you through making a jewelry. Did you have anyone walking you through how to make a business? Or do you have to figure that out on your own too?
I've had to seek out my own mentors.
Okay, sure.
And so luckily SCORE of Rhode Island, which is an online platform that provides a lot of free resources to small business owners in the South Coast,
okay, sure.
Southeast, Massachusetts and Rhode Island. They provide free mentors to all small business owners who seek them out.
Okay.
And so there are certain areas of business that are not my forte. So accounting, anything with finance. Like I despise the money piece. Like the money piece is my least favorite. I just want to create and I want to make people feel good and I want to share my art and my love.
You want to be an artist. And so it's crazy that you don't want to say that.
See?
But, okay.
That's my favorite part, honestly, about this whole thing, and just getting to share my passion with other people in a fun, cool way that they get to wear and I get to see. Every time I see somebody wear my earrings, I like die inside. I'm like, no, like you're actually wearing them. Like that makes me so die in a good way.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So it just fills my heart with so much gratitude and love, and it's really awesome to see.
Okay.
Even people who I like have never met see wearing my jewelry. I'm like, they don't even know that that's me, and like it makes my day.
Sure.
But back to the are we on mentors?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So SCORE Rhode Island, I've been able to get some mentors through them. I will say there are a lot of resources right here in our own city for small businesses. So you might know Bristol BCC has ACE, which is the Academic Center of Entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay.
So they actually have an upcoming, or I guess it's ongoing, but their next cohort will be supporting women, specifically women entrepreneurs.
Cool.
And so that is one resource that is available. There's obviously E4All, which is big on entrepreneur. You don't know E4All?
Why would I'm not an entrepreneur.
Oh, well, you should know E4All. E4All is awesome. So another really, really powerful tool, a resource for small business owners, in the city. And they've got different locations. So there's one in Fall River, there's one in New Bedford, and I want to say that they might be nationwide.
Really?
I know they have an extension in Texas and all over. So entrepreneurship for all.
Yeah, I mean, I asked that question before about do you embrace or shy away from being an entrepreneur? Because people have like tried to give me that title. I'm like, I am not an entrepreneur. I don't even make money off of this. I'm literally this is a hobby, you know? So.
But you could.
Sure.
You could.
But I really agree with you that like, I mean, it may be for different reasons, but I really don't want to make money off of this. You know, like one, that'll just be a barrier to access, but like, I don't need to, you know? Like, I don't, that's not why I'm doing it, you know? But I wanted to ask you about a couple things. But one, right now, are you only making earrings, and do you have plans to expand into other accessories?
So as of right now, it's mostly just earrings.
Cool.
So the beaded hoops, which are a big customer favorite, and then obviously the clay earrings.
Okay.
I do have plans to expand into other accessories. So want to try some bracelets,
Yeah.
and necklaces, and then I've been thinking really hard about like what other avenues can I really expand, and maybe it's not jewelry making, but maybe it's education. Like how can I share my love of creating an art and jewelry with the public and with people who also share, you know, an interest in it too.
Okay. And so we can definitely talk more about that, about how you'd want to teach it. But I feel like you'd be really good at either being a fashion designer or an interior designer. Are either of those in your future? Have you thought about that? Do you see yourself as being able to do either of those?
I haven't given thought to it. Interior design is definitely something that interests me. Like I love going on Pinterest and just like, ooh, I love this bathroom. Ooh, I would put this over here. Like just that, like very, very like low level of thought about it.
Sure.
If you ever came to my house, you would see my mom is like a master interior designer.
Really?
Sometimes like too much. Like she just buys so many things and just puts it places, but it looks good. I'm like, okay, we're just rolling with it.
Yeah, we're gonna work with it.
But she's got a good eye. Her and my dad have a very, very good eye for design. My dad being a person who likes to build things, and a general mechanic, he's got a good vision.
Okay.
He's got a good vision, and he has the skills to make those visions come to life.
Yeah.
And so growing up, anything that I had asked for, like, I want a bookshelf, like, boom, bookshelf will be made. I want a canopy over my bed. I didn't actually have a canopy over my bed, but I really would have wanted one looking back. But he would have built it, no problem. So,
really?
Yeah. I haven't ever really thought about those as next steps, or like this is like an entryway.
But I'm glad you bring up your parents, because especially when you were bringing up your mom and her decision to spray paint everything white, but you appreciated how she was just going to go with it. And it made me just think that she had like a lot of courage in making those decisions and just trusted herself. Do you see yourself being very inspired by your parents and how you've turned out and how they've had an impact on you? And did you only just realize this, or is this something that you've already known for a while, that they were able to inspire you in what you're doing?
In regards to this?
Yeah.
So I will say my parents have, I think, the most influence on their child's life. Like how you grow up, how you're raised is going to form you into the person that you are.
Sure.
And also like your outside environment. But really it's that foundation is what you are taught from your family. And so I was very, very blessed to have a very good upbringing. Like my parents are by no means perfect, but they raised me and my brothers to be, at the very least, like good people, like good, genuine people.
Yeah.
And that I can't thank them enough. And I think that has helped me in ways that I haven't really connected the dots with, but being able to speak to people properly, being able to make eye contact with people, being able to be a good person, be the bigger person, I think has helped me in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
In getting me here, it's a part of business is networking and connections, and it's not all about who you know, but having that good list of networks and people that you can reach out to has helped, and I don't think that would be possible without being the person that I am,
It's so interesting. So I heard rephrasing of that phrase, it's not who you know, or it's not even what you know, it's who you know. It's not who you know, but it's who knows you. Okay? And so there's a person named Rui Pereira. I don't know if you know him. But he's sent me like several people who I've interviewed. He got me in contact with, Wally Williams, Principal of Oak, Tyson Moultrie, even a boxer, Wilson Mascarenas. But then he kept recommending that I interview you. And so, do you know him?
I do know Rui, yes.
Okay.
So I know him back from Ever Fitness.
Sure.
So I was going there for a number of years. And so I know him from there.
Yeah. And so, just going back to like your reputation and knowing how to present yourself and being a good person, that like people will start just talking about you, even if you don't know that
You're
they're
not
talking
even
about
in
you.
the room.
Yeah. But them speaking positively and recommending you, referring you, like, goes a long way. And like I said,
your reputation is everything.
Everything.
And so I try to be sure that I maintain, it's not hard. It's not hard, like, given the way that I was raised. It's just naturally who I am and how I speak to people.
Sure.
And so I give my credit to my parents.
Sure.
They did that.
Absolutely. And so you had your opening in December. Okay. Has owning a business, and especially working it yourself, has it been what you've expected?
No.
Totally honestly, no. Okay.
I guess going into this, I don't really know what I was expecting. Like, I knew that I loved the art. I knew that I have a passion for it. And I knew that I wanted to, like, this is going back to the entrepreneurship thing. I think entrepreneurship is passion meeting a way to make a living.
Yes.
And so my passion, making a living.
Sure.
I saw it as a way to, this is what I love to do. I want to do this more often. I want to do this every day. How can I sustain a life on that? And so that's sort of the initial steps into, like, how I made the decision to be a little bit bigger and take the actual steps to be a certified business.
Sure.
And make all of this happen. So yeah.
Do you mind working for other people, or do you really like being your own boss?
I like aspects of both.
Okay.
So being the person that I am, I love the human interaction. I love connection. Working for yourself, like, if I was here every day by myself, I would get, like, pretty bored. I'd be like, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, besides, people who come in, but
having, like, coworkers.
Having a team.
Yeah.
I think having a team is so important. Like, being a one-person show, there's only so much that you can learn. Like, I'm thinking of OSS, my work there. Like, I've learned something from all of my coworkers. Like, people who have been in education for years, people who have been in their positions for a number of years, who have had different experiences, different circumstances. You learn from that. And I feel like so much of my growth, and even with this, has stemmed from that. And so I think I would miss that aspect of, like, having a team, working together, collaborating, that you don't necessarily get with a small business or what's what I'm thinking about? Being a solo entrepreneur, so just working by yourself. Like, I don't have any employees. So that aspect I love in terms of working for somebody.
Sure.
And it teaches you resiliency. Like, you're not going to get along with everybody who you work with. You're not going to like everybody who you work with. You're not going to agree with everybody and everything that they say. And so learning how to navigate that is important for other aspects of your life, because that's the same thing in life. Like, generally, you're not going to agree with everybody and everything they say.
Of course.
And so knowing, like I said, just how to deal with that conflict when it arises is just a basic human skill that I think everybody should know.
Sure.
Or should,
Yeah.
Hopefully they learn.
Yeah. And so is that a big goal for you, either in the near or far future, to build a team or have employees?
Eventually, yes. I'm trying to be living in the moment and living in the now. But of course, I've been thinking about the future. I don't see it being a super big team, but if I could get somebody to do the money for me,
I'm thinking of, like, an
fabulous.
accountant and like one other person, you know, maybe. Yeah.
I've had trouble delegating in the past.
Okay.
And even still, it's a little bit of a struggle of mine. I'm like, not that I'm controlling, but I like to know that everything that I'm doing is done the way that I want it done.
Absolutely.
So, like, I've thought about, like, what about an apprenticeship, or like just someone to work under me for the earrings. But I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Like, everything has to be, like, there can't be any ridges on here. It has to be done to a T.
Yeah.
And so learning how to delegate is something that I'm working with now. If I can give some of the pieces that I don't necessarily love to do, like I said, the accounting, the finance, that is something that I would be open to exploring.
Sure.
But in terms of, like, actual creating, like, that is my cup of tea.
That's gonna be you
I like
all
to
day.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm really curious about do's and don'ts with being a solo entrepreneur, with having a business, and about your personal journey. So you can start with either one, do's and don'ts.
Follow your heart. Like, that is the biggest one. If you feel drawn to do something, just do it. Like, even if you don't know what you're doing, you will learn along the way. Even if you do know what you're doing, you're gonna learn along the way. There's going to be ebbs and flows, hills and valleys, peaks and valleys, whatever the saying is, that you're going to experience along the way. It's not gonna be a perfect journey, but you will learn so much about the process. You will learn so much about yourself. You will meet so many people. And just stepping out of your comfort zone, that has been a big piece for me. I never thought that I would be in this position, like having the space, putting myself out there, putting myself intentionally in positions to be vulnerable and be judged in a sense. Like, people are judged on their art.
Sure.
People are judged all the time, but especially on their art. And coming to terms with, like, I'm gonna just put myself out there. This is what I love to do.
Try it.
The people who the people who love it will love it. And the people who don't like it are not going to like it. And you have to be okay with that.
And life goes on.
Right. And no matter what you do, if you're following your heart, the right energy and the right people will just naturally gravitate towards you. And those are the types of people that you're gonna keep close, and that will help you along your journey.
Okay.
So those are the do's. Definitely do seek mentors.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to take risks, because without risks, there are no rewards.
Yeah.
And so this was obviously a big risk for me, is starting in this Kilburn space. And the rewards are on their way. They're not here yet, but they're on their way.
Yeah. I mean, you're still new too.
Right. Like,
it's
just
been a couple months.
Give yourself a lot of grace.
Yeah.
Also, like, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw this video on, I don't know what social media the other day, it might have been Instagram, but it's like Kobe took 13 years, Messi took 17 years, Ronaldo took 15 years. Those are made up numbers, but whatever said, it's just a matter of being consistent. Like, your time will come. If you're putting the energy and you're putting the work and you have this vision, you have this goal in mind, and you just keep doing what you have to do to achieve it, your time will come.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of when.
And consistency and quality is what will get you to be that 1% of success. Everyone else is going to stop at some point, or they're not taking it as seriously, but with your eye for quality and with your perseverance of you're going to do it, whether you have someone or no one, is what I really am impressed by you, along with being just a great person. But I see good things in your future.
Thank you so much.
So please continue. As far as
those were the do's.
Yes. So what's the don't?
The don'ts. Don't hyper focus. So this is coming from my own experience. Don't hyper focus. Not every day is going to be, 100%. Some days you're going to be 2%. Some days you're going to be 58%. And so don't let that stop you from doing what you truly love to do and what you have been called to do. Don't procrastinate. Like, if you're thinking of doing something, don't put it off.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the voice in your head telling you that you can't do it. Gosh, I feel like I have way more do's. Like, just do it. Just do it. Just don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
And to wrap up, how would you define being intentional, and what do you feel like is the most intentional decision you've made on this journey of making a business?
Intentionality, to me, comes with goal setting. So every year, I don't like to call it New Year's resolutions, but it's just mapping out your year. Here are 10 things that I want to achieve this year. And every day is putting 100% in, or putting all of your effort, whether it's 100, whether it's 50, just knowing that you've done everything that day to get to where you want to be. So some days you don't want to get to the gym. Yeah. But you wake up and you go. Even if you walk 20 minutes and that's all you do that day and that's all you had, you did it.
Yeah.
Like that was you were intentional about making the steps to get to where you want to be.
Making progress.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's progress, not perfection. Progress over perfection. And then in terms of, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
What was the most intentional decision
I've made
with making this business?
Yeah. Getting the space. I was working out of my sunroom for a really, really long time, and that was becoming not sustainable because of the cold. So during the winter, it was probably below freezing in there. Like I could see my breath coming out. And so it's like, I really have been thinking about a space. I had toured the Kilburn Mill 2 years ago, and so I had started thinking about this space 2 years ago. And back in November, I was like, I think it's just time to take the leap and just do it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? I try it and it doesn't work out and I have to go back home. But at least I know that I pushed myself out of that comfort zone to do something that I wasn't 100% sure in. And it's just having that faith and trusting the process and trusting the timing of life, and everything will work out the way that it's designed to work out. And if this is in the plans, then we're here, we're gonna flourish, and if it's not, then we revise.
I'm gonna keep it
and
moving.
we come back to it. Yeah, but you never give up.
Yeah.
You don't give up.
Never give up.
Never ever.
Tashy, this has been an amazing interview.
Thank you so much. This was literally so much fun, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And so I'm with Tashy Pires in Taj Collective Company in her space in the Kilburn Mill. Come check it out. Come say hi, and you can watch us or at least me, in the next episode of Wake Up New Bedford. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Thank you.
I'm running.